Good morning. This is Miss Seaver. I'm at home in my craft room, and I have a special request from one of my students. She would like me to read this book here called Pinkalicious, Apples, Apples, Apples by Victoria Can. And this book even has some really cool stickers in it, but this is for my friend to use. I did not realize that Pinkalicious has so many different books. Look at that. All these different Pinkalicious books you can buy. Pinkalicious, Apples, Apples, Apples. I wonder what this book could be about. Could it be about apples? Maybe. We are at Pinkville Orchard, and it was apple harvest day. Peter and I found the map of the farm, and I read the names of different apple trees. Pink-a-wow, I shouted. There's a kind of apple called Pink Lady. I couldn't believe it. A perfect apple. I had to find it right away. So there's some interesting apple names is what she's learning. And one of them was called Pink-a-wow and Pink Lady. Have you ever seen a pink apple? Nope, I haven't. Peter and I searched through rows and rows of trees. We found red apples, green apples, giant apples, and tiny apples, but no pink ladies. Keep looking, Peter, I said. They've got to be here somewhere. So what are they looking for? They are looking for pink apples. There she is, looking around with her brother. Oh, Pinkalicious, Peter called from behind me. Look what I found. I turned around and saw my little brother with his arms full of round, rosy apples. Pink ladies for a pink lady, he said. What a sweet little brother. She must really, really, really like the color pink. And he found her some rosy apples. Peter and I giggled as we put the apples in our wagon. Let's get some more, I said. We ran back and forth until we filled up the wagon. More? Asked Peter. More, I answered. By the time Mommy and Daddy found us, our apple pile was an apple pyramid of beautiful pink ladies. Oh dear, Mommy said. What are we going to do with all this fruit? Daddy said. Peter and I looked at each other. We hadn't thought of that. What are they going to do with all those apples? She has so many apples. What can you do with apples? You have any ideas? Let me hear them. Nope, I couldn't hear you. Try again. You, right there. What did you say? Yes. So here they are, collecting their apples. She even has a little red wagon. Brother and sister are getting along. And then Mom and Dad come and they're like, oh my, look at all those apples. We rode home very carefully and very slowly. Peter and I kept looking back to make sure the apples didn't fall off the wagon. Oh dear, said Mommy again. Straight ahead of us was a giant hill. Mommy looked at Daddy. Peter looked at me. Uh-oh, I said. Are they going to be able to get those apples up the hill? Are they? Let's see. Look at that. They're going uphill. It looks like some of the apples are already toppling off. Oh me, oh my. What is going to happen? There's Dad up front. What an interesting bike. Up, up, up we climbed. We pedaled and we pushed our way to the top. At long last, we were almost home. I could see all of Pinkville down below. Even her town's called Pinkville. I was so excited to get home that I started pedaling faster. Wait, said Daddy. Be careful or the apples will... What will happen to the apples? Be careful or the apples will... Daddy didn't get to finish his sentence. Oh no! He was interrupted by the sound of rolling apples. The pink ladies fell out of the wagon and went flying down the hill. Oh no, what are they going to do? Look, that's a lot of work chasing after those apples. All that hard work. How would that make you feel? How do you think they feel? Here, tell me. How do you feel? Or how do you think they would feel? Yes, that's how I would feel too. We tried to catch them, but they were rolling much too fast. In just a few seconds, the streets of Pinkville were covered with fruit. Come on, I yelled. We have to get our apples. Peter and Mommy ran in one direction. Daddy and I ran in another, and we followed the apples as they tumbled down the street, picking them up one by one. Oh, are they going to be able to get all their apples? What an eventful day. There's the dad. There's Pinkalicious. There's her mom and her brother. We searched high and low for our missing pink ladies. Mommy and Peter found a bunch that had rolled into the schoolyard. Mr. Twizzle had some by the front door of his ice cream parlor, and I saw 3 hiding under the rose bushes in Pinkville Park. So, are they finding them? There's Mom and her brother. Pinkalicious found some by the rose bushes, and there was even some by the ice cream shop. Little by little, we gathered up all the pink ladies and brought them home. And then we washed them, and we washed them, and we washed them some more. Some of them were a little bit bruised, but they were still good enough to eat. So what do you think they're going to do with these apples now? Now that they're home and they have all their apples, look at their faces. How do you think they feel now? So we ate them all week. We had apples with every meal. Apple cake, apple crumble, apple sauce, and apple cider. Sliced apples, diced apples, dried apples, fried apples, even apple ice cream. By Friday, we had eaten nothing but apples, and we still had many left. It felt like we were never going to finish. So many apples. Apple, apple, apple. Did you know you can have all that kind of stuff out of apples? Apple pie, apple cake, sliced apples, apple juice. I don't know what that is. Apple something. And then there's her brother. They even had apple ice cream, apple cider. What was that? Can you tell what that is, maybe? There's some more sliced apples. They must really, really, really love their apples. Makes me want an apple now. That night, I thought about how we had too many apples and not enough people to eat them. And I thought about how my family had looked for the pink lady apples all over town. That's when I had an idea. Ooh, she has an idea of what to do with all the extra apples. What could it be? Since we couldn't eat all the apples on our own, maybe we could share them with the rest of Pinkville and call it an Apple Appreciation Day. Aw, she's so creative. So at nighttime, she thinks. There she is. Do you ever just sit in bed and think at night about your day? And I think that's what she's doing, except she has a chair in her room and she's allowed to have an apple in her bedroom? Well, maybe she's just thinking. And everything's so pink. The next day, I brought a shiny fresh apple and a whole apple pie to school and gave them to Miss Penny. Thank you, Pinkalicious, she said. To what do I owe this surprise? It's Apple Appreciation Day, I said. I appreciate you, Miss Penny, so you get an Applicious treat. Thank you for being the best teacher ever. Aw, Pinkalicious is so sweet to her teacher. She's saying thank you to her teacher and that she appreciates her. She's showing such kindness. There it is. Looks like she's even sharing apples with her classmates. My friend Allison was out sick, so when I got home, Mommy and I went over to her house with a basket of apples. I'm sorry you're sick, I said. Since an apple a day keeps the doctor away, I hope this keeps you healthy for a long, long time. Allison giggled. She bit into an apple. I feel better already, she said. Look at that. Going to visit her friend because she's sick. What a nice friend she is. She is showing so many very good character traits. Kindness, appreciation, generosity. Everywhere we went, we handed out apples and apple treats. Finally, we reached Mr. Twizzle's shop. We gave him a small container of apple ice cream. Mr. Twizzle, you spend all day making sweet treats for everyone in Pinkville, I said. This time we wanted to make something delicious for you. Happy Apple Appreciation Day. Mr. Twizzle took one bite. This is marvelous. This is excellent. This is positively applicious, he said. What do you call it? Pink Lady Supreme, I said with a smile. So even the apple ice cream guy, or the ice cream person, loves her ice cream. And she calls it what? Pink Lady Supreme. By that evening, we had given away almost all our apples. We had only one left. Looks like Apple Appreciation Day was a huge success, said Mommy and Daddy, giving me a big hug. There you go. Then Mommy took the last apple out of the basket. This one's for you, Pinkalicious, she said as she cut it in half and twisted it open. Inside, there was a star. A pink lady with a star inside, said Daddy. That sounds like someone I know. Thanks for being so generous with the apples, for thinking of other people, said Mommy and Daddy. You are a star. So there they go. They sliced open the apple, and inside the apple, if you cut it in half, you can see a star. And just like Pinkalicious, Pinkalicious is pink on the outside, and they think she is a superstar for showing such kindness. What a wonderful story. Thank you so much for sharing the story with me. And now here I go and share it back to you. Enjoy. Have a good day. Bye-bye.